Hey guys, what is going on? This is Eric from Studio Apps and you are just about to watch my interview with Jan from Sufio from last Shopify Pursuit in Amsterdam in 2020. If you don't know Sufio, Sufio is an app that allows you to generate branded invoices and send them to your customers as part of your branding and marketing effort. Now, my key takeaway from this interview is you should always use every part of your business, no matter what it is and how neglected it is, as a part of your branding and marketing effort. So let's jump right into the interview. It's awesome, packed with a lot of insightful insights. I'll see you after the video. Have fun. Number one. We are here at Pursuit Amsterdam. Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric. I'm here with Jan from Sufio. Jan, why wouldn't you just take a few sentences to tell us about your company and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, we at Sufio focus on generating automated invoices for your store. Now, if you really think about invoicing, this has usually been kind of a boring topic to really talk about. So we really wanted to make the world of invoicing a bit more interesting. So we have worked with print designers to create some beautiful designs of invoices. And then apart from this, obviously, one thing we have to take care of is compliance when it comes to invoices, because these are legal documents. And so making these documents automated and very transparent and editable, customizable by the users. These are all benefits that Shopify has been kind of missing to this point. So,
yeah, I mean, a lot of responsibility there, and you guys just not only taking it to make sure it's compliance, you're actually taking it to the next level and actually making it as a part of the business, like branding strategy, which is awesome thing. And
yes, so the design of the invoices kind of gives us the opportunity to make the invoice part of the purchase experience of the customer, and making the invoice part of the branding strategy as well.
Yeah, and by the way, I've just seen a few of the examples and a few of the brands that are working with. These guys know what they're doing, so check it out later. All right, Jan, would you tell me what is your number one tip for a beginner or advanced Shopify merchant?
Sure. Well, working in the legal sector, I guess you could say, one biggest
Don't mess with the iOS.
The thing is, the biggest concern for me is how many people start a Shopify shop and they have no clue about taxes, and the fact that they need to, have their taxes really set up properly before they start generating those orders. Because often at times we have clients that come to us and they're like, oh, hey, so I've launched my Shopify store. I have 500 orders in the past half a year, and I just realized I haven't been charging taxes. And I'm like, well, it's a bit late now to talk about it. So really maybe taking one step back just before you start rolling out things very quickly, and getting accustomed with the tax legislations where you're based, and making sure your taxes are set up correctly is probably my most important tip, because it will catch up to you later on. So.
Yeah, I think that makes tons of sense. Like, so many people just look at, I don't know, they got into e-commerce through dropshipping, and they don't understand that it's a legit business, and you can't just ignore all your finances and everything, like all your legal obligations, everything you have to take care of. So yeah, definitely take a step back, think about it, make sure that you're compliant with whatever geographic area you're in, and then keep going and keep booming. So yeah, that's definitely a great tip. On the other hand, what would you say is your number one tip for a Shopify partner, either if it's an agency, app developer, or any other expert?
Mm-hmm. Well, we've reached a point in this digital age where creating a Shopify agency is kind of really straightforward, and we're seeing so many agencies starting up from overnight.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's as with starting an online store, having some of those first steps that you have to take just to make sure it all works out in the long run. Similarly for Shopify agencies, I would say maybe make sure that you have already set your targets, who your target clients are going to be, and making the whole journey as personal and as yeah, basically as personally as possible is most important, because I've seen some agencies who are starting out. They basically have some clientele lists, and then they go ahead and send out like 10,000 marketing emails to them, like, "Hey, would you
Yeah.
like our help?" So this is really not the way to go in 2020, in my opinion, because there's so much competition for agencies at this point. You really have to stand out to actually become interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you must differentiate yourself. Like, it's super easy. So many people just decided that because they have, it becomes so easy to open a new Shopify store, and they just, call themselves agencies and reach out to potential customers and trying to win their attention without doing anything special.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Like, eventually, it's the same. By the way, it's the same with apps. I think on the App Store, back in the day, no matter what you build, people would come. But now the App Store became more competitive, so you must build a great product. So if your product is an agency, you must do that. If it's an app, same idea.
Yeah.
All right. So next question: what would you say is the one thing that attributed most to your company's success? Like, what is the one thing that helped you grow to where you're at right now?
Well, the lack of Shopify functionality to a certain degree. Obviously, the fact that Shopify has never really covered the invoicing and legal sector.
Yeah.
There's been this lack of information, and still is to this day, really. So, I mean, we've been working closely with Shopify and also local tax accountants in different countries around the world, where we make our invoicing possible and compliant. So this has been kind of a success point, simply because this content hasn't been out there coming from Shopify. So at this point, I mean, we have many tax guides and articles helping merchants, get their store up and going really quickly, learning about taxes in a matter of minutes, and finding out it's actually really simple to get them right, get them set up correctly.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, because that's the entire taxes area it feels so great to people that just don't understand it. And if you just create, the content in a very digestible way and making it easier for people just starting out their business and just want to, sort it out as quick as they can, so you make it super comfortable for them, that's definitely
exactly
interesting. It's kind of different from what the other developers said so far, because it's more about content, less about the marketing.
Yeah, I think so. It's simply because the content hasn't been covered, and it's also the type of content that nobody really wants to talk about because it's boring or too complicated, too complex. So we try to make the whole world of invoicing and taxes and compliance as straightforward, as simple as possible.
All right, so guys, if you haven't already set up your taxes and your invoices, we're going to list the website in the description below. Make sure you click it and read it. Make sure you're good to go. Otherwise, it's going to bite you in the ass later on down the road. All right, so take care of it. All right, let's move on to the next question. What would you say is the one thing, like your biggest challenge you've had so far, or you're currently facing with your business?
Well, it's a good question. Basically, as Shopify expands, obviously they roll out new features, and sometimes they make features that, to a certain degree, make our processes complicated once more. So when we had something in place, basically when they were restructuring the whole checkout process, we had some long scripts and code snippets that were already in place with the current system, and basically the new updates made them incompatible. So we had to sort of restructure.
You're talking about the additional script bug that they started blocking at some point, like a year ago or something like that?
That as well, but that hasn't really affected us completely. But we actually we add some code snippets to basically allow certain of our features to work on client's store. So let's say there's maybe 400 merchants who are using us for a specific VAT and tax exemption feature, which is for B2B businesses. So capturing,
I don't understand.
basically business customers in Europe, they have a VAT number, and they can put this in the checkout into a VAT capture field, and they become tax exempt. So when you're selling B2B in Europe, you tax exempt those customers. And at one point, this became incompatible, and this was one of our main features, apart from the actual invoicing itself, why people use us.
So what happened after that?
Well,
What did you do?
We had to basically go and take a step back and find out how to basically recode the whole process, how to make it once again functional for all our customers. Now this took some time, but at the end everything's working fine again.
Seems like
but
it's just
yeah. And the thing is, sometimes Shopify rolls out these updates without any prior notice to us as app developers. So it's
eventually it affects both customers, like your clients or Shopify clients.
Exactly. Like, it doesn't really help anyone when there's no prior notice. Like, hey guys, we're going to be doing this in a moment, and some of the functionality might not work. So you might want to look into it.
Yeah. All right, just happy, glad to hear that eventually it worked out and everything's fully functional. So, all right, let's last question for you. What is the one thing that you're most excited about in 2020 in the Shopify ecosystem? It can be either a feature you'd like to see, or a feature that Shopify announced, or anything else you're excited about in 2020.
Well, I think many stores that are selling internationally to different countries, they might find useful the feature where you can have multiple currencies and multiple languages. Mm-hmm. So obviously they've recently rolled out Shopify in multiple areas around the world, different regions, and they've started localizing their apps. So we had a keynote speak session today where there was mentioned that there's over 3,600 apps on the Shopify App Store, but currently only 140 apps have been translated locally to a different language. Yes, so we're one of those 140 apps
that
are available. Yeah, fantastic.
We have like 12 languages. Yeah, completely translated in the back end and the front end.
That's amazing. So we have the full back end and front end experience in 4 languages at this point. And then the invoices themselves can be generated over 40 languages, and of course all the other currencies as well.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, basically having that functionality might make the whole system simpler, but obviously that might kill some apps because there's many apps in the App Store that rely exactly.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, every time they take over a different area, they open up new options. So up until now, you didn't have the translation API. Now that's available. So the translation apps just need to transform. They're not gonna be terminated. They're just gonna have to evolve to something new. Same for you guys. You said they blocked one feature, you will find out the next way. So there's plenty of new opportunities.
All right. I mean, you really have to find the opportunity in every situation rather than the problem. So there's always 2 sides to
Yeah, and I mean, as entrepreneurs, we must find a way to make the most out of any situation, and see the positive side of the coin.
Exactly.
The half of a full cup. I apologize for my English, being second language and all. And thank you so much for being here. Have a great
pleasure having you.
Pursuit. And again, guys, make sure to check them out. Link in the description below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we'll see you on the next interview. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you learned a thing or two. I definitely did. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and push the notification button so you'll know whenever we go live or release new videos. We do have live webinar once a week, so you better check it out. If you have any questions or comments, make sure to list them down in the comment section below. We answer everyone. Seriously, everyone. And if you haven't already, make sure to join our Facebook group with over 1,500 merchants sharing tips and tricks about Shopify and business in general. We're gonna list it in the description below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.